Hey there, guys. How are you? It's just some free, copyright-free music that I thought was pretty cool, so I thought I'd use it today. Let me get that out of there, though. There's lots of things to show you. Please say hi in the chat if you'd like to ask a question. I'm watching the top chat or the new chat or whatever you want to call it. Let's turn off that music. Let's turn off the this thing. That's already off. Well, let's watch it again. So there's the Richat structure, isn't it? I'll turn that off. I want to show you the how do you pronounce it? Bathymetry. Bathymetry. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's a good question. Let's find out so I don't embarrass myself. Thanks for the thumbs up. That's great. Let's see if this gives you a pronunciation. Let's listen.
Bathymetry.
Bathymetry. Yeah, but we don't want British English. We're Americans here, right? Oh, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say that.
Bathymetry.
Okay, so it's the same. Bathymetry. Bathymetry. And by the way, bathymetry does imply flooding and showing lines. Let me get out of here. Showing lines of water, but I'm not really interested in that because there's so much to show here. So let me just see. And please, like I said, if you have any questions, I've had a couple people tell me they want to get to the Richat structure, and I said, well, hey, let's do something like that. I'm up for it. In fact, the best time is coming up in early January. I think is better than saying Christmas. Nobody wants to go during Christmas, but I can tell you it would be cheap. Now, if you did want to go before and go around by yourself, I can tell you exactly what to do. I'm not trying to create tours, and profit from them. I'm interested in creating tours. And in fact, I've got a brand new campground. In fact, where is that campground? It's right in the middle of what's called the White Valley. And there's a bunch of trees. And look at that. There's even an airport right there. Well, it's not an airport. I don't even believe that's there. It says air. Where would this strip be? Up here? On top of this plateau? I learned the name of this plateau and I forgot it. I got to get that name in writing so I can share it. But there are some places around the plateau in the White Valley. Look at this. There's something I didn't realize here. You do have this ridge here that's going through the White Valley. In fact, if that's the water right there, this is weird. It's really weird. So there must be a lot of, that's very weird. Hey there. Maybe you can answer some of these questions. For example, what does that say right there? Nadi, thanks for joining. Do you see the Arabic? It's kind of small. But we don't have to start here. We can go back. There's a bunch of stuff that I want to point out on this that's so clear, And of course, the Richat is the center of everybody's attention. And when I say the Richat, I don't just mean the Richat structure itself. I mean the whole Adrar Plateau. Now, this doesn't really... Where's the... Okay, so here we have 10 kilometers. Well, no, that's not it. This changes that. That's how many kilometers away we are from there. But what I'm looking for is the what's this? Measure distance? I don't want to measure distance. Settings, 3D. I tried that already. It started a lot of trouble. So we won't do... Well, the African Atlantis theory is getting more and more popular, isn't it? I do want to point out there's a guy named David... David... Now I forgot his last name. James... Gotta get that. What is his last name? Now I'm being stupid and saying it out loud that I forgot, and I don't dare. Let me open this over here so I can check it. and make sure I have his name correct, because I want to be able to tout his book on Amazon that he wrote about the Atlantis, and I thought he made a really good point. But before I do that, I definitely have to get the correct names, or I'm going to sound foolish. And I don't want to look through my email in front of you. Whoops, that's not email. Here, email in front of you. Hi there, Celicia? I want to say Cecilia, but it's not Cecilia. It's Celissa. Celissa, how are you? Welcome back. I remember when you were here before. Thanks again for the thumbs up. I've got thumbs from everybody, it looks like. I'm just looking for that name. Okay, so gotta get it correct. Oh, I'm gonna have to look it up on the thing. He doesn't have his last name on here either. Where did I put that? Was it in Reddit? See, Reddit has a bunch of his posts, so I'm going to slowly go there and get that for you I can't. I got to just take a break and do it. I was going to try to do two things at once, and I'm failing miserably. So I'm just going over to a Reddit and finding a post because I think it has the information I need. And I just want to talk about what he said, and now I'm going to tell you what he said. So basically, he's saying here, okay, so in Reddit, he's got a bunch of new posts. Sorry, I'm not getting it. David Lady Edwards, I guess his name is. David Edwards? If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But anyways, David Edwards, you said he wrote a book. Yeah, he wrote a book called Atlantis. I don't want to do it in front of you, so I'm doing it off screen here. I think it's called Atlantis Solved. And by the way, speaking of websites, Atlantis Together is gone. The guys that... okay, let's try that. I think I got it. Yeah, I've got it. And now I can show you the book. So there you go. Yeah, so his full name is David Edward. His full name has a lady as his middle name. And he's been doing YouTube. In fact, I can show you a YouTube that just came up today. I got it right here. Sorry, don't look at my stuff. It's right here, and you can take a look at that, and you can subscribe if you want. I don't really hide my YouTube. I got a lot of crap coming in. Here he is. So he did these videos. Atlantis Search Begins, and that's where I saw his book link, which is right there. Atlantis Solved. And let's go back to the book link. This video, I'm not going to show you the video, but Atlantis Solved book, where is it? Right, we're here. So now I'm so messed up now. I want to get back to my thing. But yeah, he says in the video that I just showed you, he goes over the four Atlantises. And I thought that was pretty cool because when you talk about Plato, the Richat is the Atlantis of Plato, Nali. You're talking about a couple things. You're talking about the city of Atlantis, which we think is here, the Richat structure. You're talking about the kingdom of Atlantis, which is not really a place on Earth. It's a lineage of people. Now the Atlas Mountains are right there. That's the Peri-Reis map. The Atlas Mountains are up there, and that's the other thing is there's four of them, and I thought it was really good. We've got the continent or the island of Atlantis. Okay, where's that? Is it out here in the middle of the Atlantic? And then we've got the last one is the oh, now I forgot the fourth one. So we could probably go to his video searches and look at the video names, and that might help. Yeah, there they are. There they are, right there. So he's got the kingdom, he's got the continent, he's got the capital, and there's one more. I thought we had four. Okay, four. Three Atlantises. There's number four. Okay, well, maybe I made a mistake, but the point being is when you say the word Atlantis, it doesn't really focus on one or the other unless you clarify it. Okay, I talked about that enough. I'm getting off track. I really want to show you this map, and I want to talk about a few things. Let's back out. So, as you can see in this map, the pinker it gets, and if you go way out, you're going to get snow. We'll get snow up here. Now, when I say snow, I don't mean snow. I mean it's the height is so high that they use white to show you the height. Now, is there snow up there? Maybe yes, maybe no. It's getting to be winter. There could be a little snow up there in the next few days. Now, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the altitude, the height of each one. And when you get on the white, you're at the very top. See, what I like about this is the one I usually use. And when I use this, it shows color. And of course, white is at the top, and we can see here when you zoom in that automatically we get an amount of 13,461 feet where it's white. And where it's red is about 9,200, where it's orange is about 5,700, where it's yellow is 41. And that's nice. But and you can change the map so you can see the imagery from different things if you're looking for something. But what I like about this bathymetry map, did I say it right? What I liked about that was, okay, where's now I'm looking for my, what happened? I'm looking for my chat. It disappeared. I think I just covered it up. I think I covered it up right here. Did I not? Did I not? Okay, let's just keep going back. No? Sorry about the confusion, folks. That's why I do the live streams. Okay, here we are. I'm looking at the chat. Yes, Nali, he did write this book. But I want to change the subject back over to... And by the way, I'll show the chat. There's Nali, there's Celisa. Sorry for mispronouncing your name. Okay, so I don't want to show it, but that's that. Here's my control panel. And let's get the book out of there. If you're really interested, you can take a look at his videos. And I was showing you his videos a moment ago. But what I really wanted to do was to go over just a few things here on this. You know, I do find these mountains to be a mystery. I'm starting to fall down the rabbit hole on intelligently created mountains, and this one here, especially right over here, I really question this, especially over here, down here. There's some things that I really can't understand how they're natural, especially right there. Fam el sin. This one is one line. How do you get mountains like that from a single line? And they do stop and start, so maybe there's more than one line, but it's not like there's a separate mountain for each line. They're all connected. Now going down to the Richat structure, you can see it's pink. So the altitude, I know what the altitude is. We can always check here, right? We can always check here if we need altitudes to double check. This is my favorite way. Where are we? Sorry, I messed up. Yeah, and that's one other problem with this USTopographic-map.com. Okay, so you can see clearly here we have... I would be careful. We need to make sure we're not looking at pictures there. That's better, right? That shows you exactly how high we're talking about. And you can see kind of a pink, not really a pink as much as a kind of a... It's right there, 2125, or maybe we're 2274, 2,000 feet. 2,000 feet. If it's red, it's less than 2,000 feet. Where's the red? I don't see it. So we've got 2,000 feet. Let's go back here. So that's 2,100 feet, or maybe it's 2,200 feet right there. But is that the highest place in the Adrar Plateau? No, look, you can see right here, that's all white. That's the highest point. Now, is there snow? No. But this is the highest point, and there's a couple things I want you to see. You can see them here. There's that line and that line. And when we look at this, it's just so interesting how prominent that is. Is that not intelligently created? I mean, it just appeared. We've got this surface here. We've got this surface here. They're the same. The mythical Oedra. This line is the famous mythical Oedra. Which line are we talking about, Nali? I don't think you're talking about this. What you see here is something that's separate from the Adrar Plateau. Hey, Storm Run Gaming. How you doing? Since you commented, I'll kind of back out and show you where we are. Now, there's a few things here that's pretty prominent when you zoom in. You can't really see it here, which is kind of a surprise. I thought we were going to see these lines here. That's one thing. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm going to have to look that up. The famous mythical Oedra. I don't know what that is. So when I meet new things from my viewers, especially when I'm live, I can't help myself. I just got to find out what you're talking about. A river in Morocco. Okay, whoops. Okay. Let's find it on the map. Oh, that river. Interesting. Very interesting. Where is it? Okay, it just disappeared. Can I just go back and see it? Where's the river? That? I believe it was coming out right here, if I'm not mistaken. Let's just double check. I don't understand. Oh, there we go. So it comes out. Oh, there it is. See? So we've got a little bit of that river, Oedra. Is it the border? Well, not over here. If it's the border, it's got to be way over here. Oh, yeah, right there. You're right. I see now. I'm sorry. I should have paid attention. Okay. Well, I was looking a little bit farther north, I think. Or maybe I was looking... Yeah, you're right. It is right there. It's by that river. And you know, it always seems like this river... Okay, let's go back to the view you like. This one? Is this the view that you like? Yeah, that river... Let's see if we can find it on this. That river has these... I guess it's coming right there. Always with the ancient megalithic terraforming is water, isn't it? Yeah, that other map showed it, right on the border. I found a lot of... What I wanted to show you here was the ancient quarry lines. And we can always go to regular Google Earth. We can always change this right here and do it. And just zoom right in. I don't usually use maps. This is... But when you go and you can't do 2D. That's why I don't use maps. Let's do it here. So when you zoom in right here, you can look straight and see these straight lines. They're quite incredible. Here they are. And you say, oh, that's weird. That's natural, though. Well, no, because when you take it... Let me just go in here. And I want to talk about this place later, but first let's go here. Now, La Bied, El Bayed. Bayed is a place over here that I almost... I looked over it. I didn't go down the mountain because of the timing. Now, I always, if you really can't find it, this is funny because this thing used to be different. It's a lot darker. Now, I know where the ancient Tamanrasset is. And I think that over here is not exactly where it flowed. I believe, okay, so when you look at this, you can see these straight lines. So we do have the signs, but you can't see it on the, let me put it back, bathymetry map very clearly. So that's an area that I kind of think could be improved here. If you go in, you can kind of see some straight lines. But I do believe that was lines from some type of ancient quarrying. And from my understanding, Randall Carlson even said that is, see, I'm looking at here, and it might not be easy to drive over that right there. It must be easy. And right here, I want to drive through there to get to a destination. What is the name of this? It's a mountain, Tarf Tinlescat. People are telling me you can only get back there by camel. I'm like, well, we'll see about that. We'll see. Would be El Galawia, and I definitely wanted to take a look at this. Now, you do see one of these damming lines here, but there's that one that's over here. What I do know now is there is a military outpost right here, and you can easily find it. And I believe they're probably responsible for all this water control that's happening. Now, we do have a 4-kilometer long canal here, if I'm not mistaken. You can drive through that, and then you can get over here and get on the road and go back to Wadan. And look at this out here. What is this thing? You've got a little thing here that you can see. You've got something going on right here. A straight line. And by the way, that straight line, these ridges, is it safe to call these sand dunes at this point? The only thing I want to say about these straight lines is that down in near Timbuktu, we can also find straight lines, but they have a bedrock underlayment that sticks through. So maybe these straight lines are not all just sand dune. Now, I'm not going to make any claims I can't prove. I don't have evidence. But I look at these straight lines and I think to myself, comparing to the Kalahari canals or other straight-lined ridges that I've found in Africa, I sometimes wonder if those were also not straight-line ridges bringing water from the ancient Tamanrasset over here, because the river, the ancient Tamanrasset, was right there. Let me just show you what I think it was. Now, this is Zerat or Frederick, I can't say it. And this is actually a place the river went up and over. So if the river's up and over here, it's definitely not down here, but we see a shoreline. And because of that shoreline, we know that there was some water here. We see an ancient lake bed all along this. It was not just a river. This was water. There's shorelines up here. So when you say, oh, that was the Tamanrasset, I don't think so. In fact, if you want to know the truth about this, and you can talk to my ancient sanctum, whatever his name is, on Facebook, he found that the ancient Tamanrasset River came down here and then cut up here and went around this mining mountain. There's a lot of gold mining happening here. And then it went back down. And where did it come out? It came out right here, near this mud shoal. But it's not really a mud shoal anymore. However, was there a river right here? According to my friend, yes. And it came out right down here, near Nouakchott. And I do believe it's most of the people in Nouakchott can say, yes, a river came through here. What's that line? Look at that. That's an interesting line right there. So this software is kind of cool. Now, this is Delia's Manhattan. Let's just go back to where we were so you know, because I'm going to get away from Galawi as a place I'm going to go maybe in December or January. If you're interested in coming to the Richat structure with me, reach out to me and I'll tell you what it'll take. Now, this is very, very far out. So we're going to have trucks that we're going to need 2 trucks and maybe have to camp out here one night. Now, I don't believe we need to camp out there in my heart. I don't think so. But Atar would be the home base, and getting from here to there and then back in one day, I think, is nearly impossible. So I do believe that you would want to just camp out here one night. It might be kind of cold. Nali, you want to try to make it. Look, I'm just going to say this. I don't know where you're flying from, but I think that you probably will be spending about $2,000. I'm looking at a flight, and I'm still waiting for the email. Where's my email? I'm still waiting for the email back from the airline that goes from Paris to Atar. And, I don't want to just make you be with me the whole time. We can do some stuff together, but I want you to be able to do stuff by yourself. Now, what I want to do from going from here, if you can fly to Atar from Paris, and then you take the truck ride out to here, that would probably just take 1 night or 2 nights total, and maybe stay in the hotel and leave early in the morning. And then what is the distance? Let's just measure that real quick to see. But that is, 300 kilometers. And I round that up, and it looks like with the curvature, can I do this? There we go. With the curvature, there we go, 300 kilometers. Now, I honestly don't know if you can go that way. I have a map that shows a road, but when I check the Google Earth and other maps, this road seems not to pass through. I'm not sure what is up about that. I'd say it's not spendy. It depends on your goals. If you want to go camping for a week out here in this area, here's a tar, go south to the white. I'm also probably going to spend some time there because I want to check out Delia's Manhattan. We call this Manhattan. It's kind of different here. What you see here is a big, huge rectangle, but here it looks like it's all interconnected. So it's kind of tough to figure out. One thing I do say, though, is you do see some lines here. And I'm not joking, you see them in other places too. For example, these two parallel canals, they're not quite parallel perfectly, they're about 1 degree off. But I walked down this one right here. I went from a tar and then went up to the top of the plateau. I call this the lower it's not a plateau really, it's more the flood basin. But then the tar plateau is the first climb. And you get up to a tar, and you might want to find a hotel there. If you're going to the Richat structure, then you definitely just want to stay in Wadan. You only need 1 truck for that trip. But if you're going out here to this area, everybody says you need 2 trucks. I tell you right now, I don't think you need 2 trucks. A satellite phone might help for emergencies. But I do believe that water went along here. We do have the sand dunes. Yeah, and I agree with you, professional biologist. These ridges are probably sand dunes. But I'm telling you right now, if you look at some of the stuff down by Molly's straight lines like this, you see bedrock sticking through them. You can't do it on this map. You do see a little bit of a ridge here. So I am interested in this a little bit, but out here we can follow the Richat structure. Everybody thinks there's an exit point here. Water exited through here. Well, I do believe that if this was the Atlantis capital, the entry point was probably about here. Although we do have a big old bank of sand right here that blew in, so it could have been directly south. When you zoom into the structure itself, you see a notch in the north, a notch in the east, what was probably a notch in the west, and not really a notch in the south. But you did have this big, what I believe is an asteroid impact or a comet fragment impact. What's an unknown city? Let's go through these. Let's go through these a little bit because I want to make sure I understand a few things. Starting from the beginning, Nolly came in early. Okay, that's distracting. And talked about that river and the ancient mega. I just discussed the ancient Tamanrasset pathway. It doesn't go past the north side of the Richat. It does not follow the Adrar Plateau. Okay, what did you find? 110-foot fallen statue. Don't tell me it's that. Look, man, I'm going to tell you right now. If I see what I believe to look like a phallic symbol, I'm going to be mad. I've been shown this already. Where is it? Hit go. Yeah, you said statue. Okay, that's something different. All right, something new. I like it. I like it. Is that what you wanted to show me? I'm not seeing the statue. What is that? That thing? Does that look like it looks like an Indian Hindu statue? If anything. Okay, sorry about that late storm run gaming, but I don't want to get too distracted. Where am I right now? Right now I'm in California, Nolly. Did I say it right? Niley. There is the Lady of Mali rock figure that could be Atlantean. This lady of that right there, is that what you're talking about? But this is not Mali. This is far away from Mali. This is in this country of Sudan, I think. Is that Sudan right there? Yeah. So it's right about there. The Mali thing that I'm talking about are these striations here. Where? Not, that's too far north. They're down here, I think. They're not by Timbuktu. Timbuktu, where are we? So there's Timbuktu over there. Oh, maybe they are. Okay, they are by Timbuktu. Right? Okay, so this is what I'm talking about here, really. And this is something that's very similar to the Kalahari Canals. And the Kalahari Canals, okay, so when we come out here, look at these ridges. Now, we don't have the same type of sand dunes, but you can see the top of it. Now, maybe we should double check and make sure if that's the top or the bottom, but I was thinking these were the tops. Now, maybe I'm off. I had another video I did about it, and we have to find the tops. So what we can do is we can use Google right here, camera, 277 meters. I click here, it's 284. I click here, it's 264. Okay, so, I'm realizing, like, this is the top right here with the snow. Is that it right there? 259. This is 272. And then down here in the darker areas is 260. So this is the top, 272. I don't know, maybe I made a bad, maybe I didn't understand what I was looking at before. So here, I still think we're seeing bedrock come through the top of it. It's not really like it's sand, right? Now, some people might argue that it's a sand dune that has been changed from sand to a solid mountaintop peak. I think it's quite interesting, especially the ridge at the top. It does ring a bell from some of these ridges that I've seen down in South Africa. And, of course, even up here, I think we're seeing similar ridges. Let's go back here. What I'm talking about, these ridges here, this is very out of place to me. And if you know about this so-called river theory, now, personally, I don't believe there was a river going through here. But other people have found river routes. They weren't the big ones. Like, this was a major, I think that was a major river or canal, because I do believe that the real river, the ancient Taman Reset, was up here. It flowed up here and then back down. So it went around this Frederick and Zorat mountain peak where everybody mines gold. Now, I am learning more and more about this area. I talked to a local just yesterday for 1 hour, and I got a lot of information. For example, how safe is it? There are apparently landmines way up here, but they're well marked. They're not in Morocco. They're at the border, at the top near the border of Morocco, near that river, but not in the Mauritania part, if there is one. Okay, now I'm just sounding foolish. So let me get back to this. Let me see the chats. Here they are. So there's a Lady of Mali rock figure that could be Atlantean. Was that the one in the link Storm Run Gaming? I believe that was it. It looked like it could be some type of a weird that thing that you see at the in Cambodia. You see that lady showing her breasts everywhere. It kind of looks like her. It is a female. Kind of has like a male face. I mean, we can easily find these things if you go to Angkor Wat. Let me see if I can just do it. Angkor Wat topless statue. I mean, I don't really remember the name, but this statue's everywhere. Is she topless? Don't look at that. Let's go to the images. Now, this statue's everywhere. This one right here. Is she bare-breasted? A lot of them are bare-breasted, so I'm not sure if that's... See, this one here, bare-breasted. Doesn't that look the same to you? Storm Run Gaming, the top of hat, that mountain statue you pointed out. All right. I didn't really want to get off topic too far. I didn't want to create a really long video. Whoops, what happened? I want to do this. And I want to make sure I look at all the... Okay. Get your thing charged. But you were interested in going. The other guy? Which other guy? You're talking about the guy that I just looked at? He's in here? That guy right here? This guy's channel is called... I think it's called A History Of. A History Of. Let me open that in a different one because I navigated away. Okay, so it's at A History Of. You just have to go to YouTube and put at A History Of and you'll find the channel. And he's got a bunch of... we pretty much correlate with everything that he's doing. We've talked... Okay, well, professional biologist, I'm going to follow up on that one. The Lady of Mali. 3 Google images about, it's not very well known. It's in Mali, huh? You know what? Actually, I think I will search that right now. The Lady of Mali. And I am very interested. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. Interested. Because if you've seen my videos, I actually put up a bunch. The problem with these types of things is when you get to the other side, they don't look like, is that 180 degrees? Or is that just a profile that got lucky? I do like that, though. That really does look very interesting. Thank you for telling me about that. I'll try to locate it and see if I can find more. In the Richat, if you zoom into the mountains to the north, you can see structures everywhere. Got to be about 500 feet above the ground. What kind of structures do you mean? Sorry, I'm going to go back and see. Okay, what did I miss, professional biologist? It's on the side of the mountain. A face. There's a face. Okay, well, I think you're talking about... Unfortunately, with the zooming... Okay, I'm going to stop looking at the chat after I answer that. Sculptures of elephants, yeah, and there's some other things. In fact, I think you showed me some other stuff. Storm Run Gaming. Rectangle foundations, paths between places. You know what? If I showed it in my video, please later on show me the timestamp. Because I'm getting a little overwhelmed here. I want to show you 2 more things before I finish. So what I was saying here was that this is a shoreline right here. Now, did it get eroded? Maybe, but there's 2 shorelines right there. You can go there yourself and see them. If you go there, you can zoom right in and see. There's like 2 of them. The one shoreline is quite prominent. Oh, I think the other one with 2 is on the other side. I mean, you kind of have a shoreline down here, but that's way down there. And so I'm not going to count that. But you have one main... Okay, I made a mistake to say 2. The 2 is another spot. The 2 shorelines are kind of over here. You were talking up here about structures 500 feet. I believe this is ancient mining. And like I mentioned, Randall Carlson even said that these quarries, I presume he was talking about these, also have signs of ancient mining. Quarrying. The reason why is because there's these faceted megabreccia cubes sitting there that people have actually structured, or I'm sorry, have sculpted. Sorry. I didn't really want to keep talking about this, but I see you can see a second shoreline kinda right there, but I'm talking about the top. Now, this top and this top are about the same. Those quarries, would they have been underwater? That's my question, and I believe that they kind of were underwater a little bit. Now, I'm sorry, I'm checking your comments. City layouts in the Richat. Storm Run Gaming, please be a little more specific. Okay. Right, right. Well, that's what I was trying to say is this shoreline's kind of covered. So to say there's a river leaving there, I think that's a little bit strong. There's definitely a waterway coming down here on this side of Wadan. And if it rains up here, then there might be a river. I've seen running water up here. So the water does run down into the Richat from here down in. I think it's right about here. However, to say that there's a river leaving the Richat, that's a bold statement. And if it's true, I don't see how it's possible, especially when you look at this. Maybe it cuts right through here. Maybe it comes through here somehow, creating this stuff. But in my opinion, I don't really see it. So to say that water leaves the Richat, I don't quite believe. In fact, I had a previous video where I showed my ancient... the guy that is looking at Spain. I've been in touch with him for a long time now. He showed me a river thing, and I probably could show it here, but I don't really want to change this right now. And last time I changed it, it messed everything up. But the water inside here doesn't leave the Richat; it evaporates. That's why there's so much white right here, because it all evaporated. And this middle crater right here, it's actually not as white as the places where the water evaporates. So to say that the water leaves the Richat is not really true, in my opinion. So when we go, but following this theory, there was a river coming out of here. And if you're talking about an entry point to ancient Atlantis, yeah, there was a place, according to Plato, that you entered and went under a tunnel into the middle rings. So maybe there was a tunnel. So that could be one thing to dig for, but in my opinion, I don't see much happening here. Going along here, though, you do see this weird ridge, and then here, wow, it gets even more prominent. Now, this is a point I want to make. You see this ridge here, and you say, is that natural? Well, let's talk about what I call Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You can see the head of the animal right there. It looks different here. When you go here and you look at it, you see what could be a little, I think it's a cute little nose. And maybe that's a head, and maybe that's a running deer, or maybe it's another animal. Maybe it's a dog. But the thing is, it's got this cute little button nose, but when you zoom in on the button nose, you find out there's a bisecting line, and there's another little peak here with another bisecting line, not exactly in the middle, and there's a saddle going through, and you have another little peak here. It's kind of a saddle, but it's all connected. Now wait, there's more, and this is probably the most important thing. Now where is that? That's right here. So there's Rudolph, and those lines, if you follow those mountain peaks, it meets this. So in my opinion, if this is overburden dumping from some ancient quarry mining where they took the materials and they dumped it here and they used this line as a track, a single track to get back and forth and dump more stuff, or I don't know why it would look like this, but honestly, I can't even conceive why that line goes across the mountaintop, separates it. I mean, is that natural erosion? I don't think so. Especially when you have a matching one right over here. That's literally the opposite in one way. There's the center, and this is on this side. Here's the center, and this is on this side. So these little lines going across these two peaks are question enough. Also, if you didn't know it yet, and I want to show you right now on the bathymetry, you can see the cut lines here. Look at that. You can see these cut lines. Now they're clearly some type of a quarrying where they're removing the content. This is the highest spot in the Adrar Plateau. This is the highest spot. And that picture that I took when I was there, I want to find that picture. Let me see if it's right here, because I had it handy. I'm not seeing it. All right. It's not handy, so I'm going to have to chase after it. I think I have it right here. Is that it? No. Oh, well, what I wanted to show you was a picture I took of the mountains, and now I've hidden it from myself. And those mountains, what I wanted to say is those mountains are not as tall as this high point, but they are very, very prominent, and they're almost as tall. So I do feel like there was some type of ancient quarrying going on here. That's when they carved these rivers out. One here, it's a canal, and one here. I walked down that. And in addition to that, you've got these ancient lines going across these plateaus where they are correlated, but when you zoom in, these plateaus are separate features over here because some type of a flood event. Wait, what? I'm listening. I'm watching. I'm reading. Let me go back. Let's look at your comments because it's not all about me. I'm pretty much done with what I wanted to say, but let's go back and see. You guys are arguing about something? Okay, so wow, you've been talking a lot. Okay, I didn't really quite know what you meant here, Storm Run Gaming, but maybe tell me later. In the Algerian Sahara, we have sculptures of elephants. I'd love to see pictures of that. This is where we put we copy something like that and we just do a quick search. The wonders of Google's Algerian Sahara sculptures of elephants, and just put that in there. Maybe we'll find them. Is that it right there? Look at that. Amazing. That's amazing. Let's see if we can find some other pictures. Sculptures of elephants in Algeria. Look at that right there. That looks like it. But it's got a lot of wow. That is amazing. And I'd love to see more. Very exciting. Very exciting. Elephants in the Sahara. That means these sculptures must be 5,000 years old when it was still green, right? Okay, let's go back to the chat. Persons and astronauts. I can't wait to see that. Clear circles, rectangle foundations pass between places. Okay, Storm Run Gaming, you're talking about that spot I was asking about earlier. Yeah, it is true. I have been repeating a little bit. Ethnic Berber system construction. Niley, you talking about, what are we talking about here? Thousands of half-buried city layouts. See, the thing about the Richat is you really don't see anything in the Richat. We can talk about the Richat when it comes to, you know, if Atlantis was here, if this is what Plato described, then it was blown away by this crater, and that's what I believe. That's what I believe. If you take a look at, let's go to Esri Topo, or maybe that's not a good one. Let's try the Open Topo map. I think it's pretty clear that this it's not a volcano. I'm going to do a new video. I did a quick 60-second video on this. I was standing here and I said this is not a volcano. I'll give you the full videos soon. I've just been very busy. But these videos are going to have... whoops. Sorry. These videos are going to have... I mean, just a quick visit here, but they're going to have a little more dialogue about this. What is this? What is that thing? Anyways, my point is that where are the mountains? Okay, this is a circle of mountains. Here, let's talk about circles. Are they real true circles? They're kind of elliptical. And 2 years ago, I was definitely showing videos of a lightning strike in a car that kind of matched this. Made me feel like this is not created from dome geology, but it's created from an electronic discharge that could possibly be the Squatting Man event. Now, there's a couple things about that Squatting Man event that I could say very quickly. Where's that picture? The Squatting Man event has people who recognize this. The squatting man. Now, if we look at images about this, you quickly see this. And I hope I'm not going to pull up porn. Why is that here? I don't want to see that. This one is a bit... I mean, I've seen different versions of this, but here's the problem. If there was an electronic discharge, and that is the diameter of the Richat structure right there, and it actually melted the stone to create it, it melted it with electric energy. Am I electric universe theory? I find it interesting, but I'm not advocating it at all. But if this is true, then people in Arizona probably didn't see it because they're on the other side of the planet. How could they see that? New Mexico, no. Spain, yes. Venezuela, no. Italy, yes. UAE, yes. Tucson, Arizona, I don't think so. Well, isn't it interesting that the Arizona ones have a genitalia, very clear genitalia. UAE has some clear genitalia. And maybe this was passed around the world, over time. Maybe it was just through mythology that it got on the other side, and that's why they have it over there. Maybe that's true too. So I'm not going to try to make any claims about that. But I do believe what we're looking at, where is it? Sorry. This we should have, where is it? Right here, another quadrant of mountains that are just missing. So if this was Atlantis, I believe this is the best theory, because if it's missing, if it's not there anymore, it's been evaporated, ionized, or whatever, then this makes the best sense. And it looks like a crater to me. Why isn't it perfect? There's a lot of alluvial fans along the top and around the side. Okay, but you can check out my 60-second short. Ancient mining, show us the sites. I think I've done that in videos too, but I'll show you right now. Let's make sure I'm seeing all the chats, because I really don't have a lot more to say. The Berbers might be the Atlantean servants, which could be Canaanites. Yeah, I'm looking through the Bible right now, and are we talking about the Canaan that the Israelis went to? Let's see. The bottom right is sand covered, so you can't see the shoreline. Argorgat is also in the north of Mali. Argorgat, a city. Okay, don't argue, guys. We're all in this together. Let's see here. The Emerald Tablets of Thoth speak about Atlantis. Okay, I guess you told me that before, and I was chasing that down. Okay, the Atlanteans became modern Europe. Don't say that so fast, professional biologist, because if you're Richat, if you're pro-Richat, or even if you're Atlantic Ocean, we have the survivors of Atlantis presumably helped build the pyramids, didn't they? And perhaps Göbekli Tepe and all this technology. Survivors of Atlantis did go to Europe, yes, but what's the no for? What do you mean no? Oh, Berbers are the Atlanteans. Okay, Berbers are the Atlanteans. See, that's what you're saying. You're questioning whether or not they were the servants, and you're saying Berbers are the Atlanteans. Berbers are not just Berbers, right? I mean, I've already looked at the last 8,000 years. 6,000 BC was when you had the what's the word? I forgot the very, very long word. Iberomorasians. Take a look at the Christopher Tolworthy video. He talked about the Iberomorasians. They were before the Berbers. And so, I mean, and that's 6,000 BC. We're still got 4,000, 5,000 years to figure out. Water scratched the ground by pushing something big. Okay, look, if this was a crater and it evaporated everything, you're going to have a lot of stuff that needed to be washed away, but it's going to be dust. Also, could it have been part of the Younger Dryas event? Cronus. I think I'm going to... That's why I show this chat during the video, so I can go back to the video. I don't have to... Because these chats always disappear once the video's over. I don't know what I'm hitting wrong. Okay, you guys are getting into too many details with names and stuff. Oh, there you go. Iberomorasian. I think there's a misspelling with that U. I think that's an A. But yeah, okay, so I just repeated what you already said. So you are saying, wait a minute, where are we? I just got lost. What did I, okay, so you guys did a lot of chatting. Johnny Shia, thank you. Are you in Myanmar? What are you doing there? Okay, see, you guys did a lot of chatting. You're saying that I'm just going to click like this because I'm not sure how you could know that. Because I'm not sure how you can... Oh, wait. Okay, you could be right. No, Semitic people are half Hamite. What? Japhethites? What's this? You guys are saying words I've never seen before. Javon? I don't remember that name. In by the way, the guy that I just introduced you to, he loves to compare those brothers and sisters' names. Start with go back to number 1, and he goes over a bunch of stuff. Yeah, here there are 2 Critiases. So when you're reading Critias and Timaeus, what you don't realize is that the Critiases one is the grandfather of the other Critias. All right, let's go back to the chats. I'm just going to scan them real quick, and I'm not going to speak. Sculpt. Okay, well, sculpt. What is a sculpt? You mean a cult or a 12th? Oh, sculpture. You're going to have to give me all these sculpture names, and I'm going to find them. Oh, definitely the wood rotted. Okay, now... I don't think that, according to Plato, the buildings were made of stone. But yeah, any wood is long gone. Any metal is long gone. There was supposed to be a wall of not gold, but tin and copper and calcium, right? Am I not mistaken? And the middle one was the calcium wall. That's all gone. Where is it? I didn't see any calcium there. Now this one, Sepket El Gelb, yeah, it's definitely the source of salt, but they're not mining from it. It's pure, and there's no salt you can really... It's covered with a top layer. It's not even white. You'll see in the video, or go back and look at my short. Okay, so the red, white, and black rock, I do want to mention on my last trip, and I did show some videos, I have a theory. The rock here is white. If you find a big boulder and you break it in half, it's white. If you let it sit out and it gets wet, then you've got an iron oxide red. But the black, I believe that's some type of an event because it's a different side of the rock. When you look at these rocks sitting around, you got a lot of broken rocks, but the ones that are clearly sitting, they have a black top. I think that's some type of a combustion event. Perhaps maybe from this. And when I'm talking about it, I'm talking about over in Wadan. Wadan's not as old as Atlantis, though, is it? So Wadan is right here. There's a lot of blacktop rock. You can see it in my video. Take a look. Okay, chatting. Guys are talking a lot, right? Let's make sure we're not missing something. And I'll go through this again by myself later because I always learn new stuff. That's why I went to Utah. How do you like Myanmar? Well, I don't want to ask too many questions, Johnny, but I have to say the news says that there was kind of a coup, right? Okay, we're down at the bottom. No more chatting. So Zahi Hawa is being invited to, if you've seen the things on... He's being invited to what is that? What is that thing that's happening? If you go to my Twitter, Cosmic Summit, you'll find it pretty quick. She's fighting with them right now. She's fighting because of the new... what we've got a... Of course, everybody knows Graham Hancock came out with a new... Netflix series, and History with Kayleig's arguing with a bunch of people because she is apparently not ancient advanced civilization theory, like we all probably are. She's a mainstream narrative. Okay, I'm trying to find it, and I can't find it. It's coming soon. Graham Hancock has been doing a lot of tweets. I guess this guy did a criticism of his show and called it the most dangerous documentary of the year. Why would it be so dangerous? This is a joke. What's this? Flat Earthers? What's this? Interesting. Oh, funny. Alright, anyways, I'll stop looking through this. We've got a lot of stuff. You might want to check out my Twitter if you're interested. A lot of stuff comes up in Twitter that I've never seen before. And by the way, let's go to my notifications, because that's where they all were. I'm even getting stuff I haven't seen yet. The thing was way down here. By the way, this is the guy that gave me this bathymetry model. That's how I found out about it. He's asking me about this, and I gave him the bad news. He's like, I'm not sure I saw the fortress from your video unless I missed it. If I did, please tell me the video time. This is from Satellite Pro. Yeah, the new versions of the new Google Earth. If you go here now and look at it now, it's not as clear. It's hard to see. It's terrible. It's right here. Where is it? You can barely see it. You can barely see it now. So that's turned into a joke. All right. I think everybody's talking to me is what's happening. Well, the thing is that about the salt is that it should be consistently getting moisture. There was heavy rain in the Adrar Plateau this last summer and spring. There were some heavy spring showers. All right, we're done with chat. Let's make sure I talked about everything I wanted to say. I kind of wanted to move. Look at these lines. Is that even possible? It looks machined, but it's not. I believe that, well, actually, I do believe that this area here is 100% machined. If you go up here on top of it, and like I said, I can arrange a camping trip right here, and you can spend a week here running around, climbing the mountain. This is a long distance, okay? This is 44 kilometers. But what you have is you've got what starts out, and I've seen this in other places, two parallel lines. I feel like there was some ancient cuts created, but for some reason they started to separate. This one stayed true and strong, and now if you look across the way, you've got a lot of plateaus that are missing. A lot of stuff got washed away here. But I do believe that this line right here is probably one of the longest ancient canals you can find in the area, and it got washed away. But that line, it could be the river that exited, and I think that we see it right here, right? That there must have been like the river. I don't know. Is that the river right there? The shorelines, both sides? Because I think that this is a mining town, Akjuit, and you keep going straight down and you find yourself in Nouakchott, or north of Nouakchott. And maybe it came out here. You can't really tell because there's a lot of covering here. I believe everything here is in the last few thousand years. But I could be wrong. It's just that another thing you have to remember, look at this. This is great. This is great. Although it's a little bit too much. These things, this is a river. See, you can see it in Google Earth. When you go to the ocean, you can see the ancient shoreline. And so that means that 400 feet of water have increased, and it brought the shore from here all the way back here. So when I say that the ancient Tamanrasset exited here, it probably exited right about here. And you can see that right here. Now, I don't see why we see so many, but you can definitely see, and when you go out farther, you can see the long trail. And you can see it in Google Earth as well, I believe. Well, yeah, right there. Right there. That's the trail for, and no, don't follow that. So I think you're seeing it right about here. So maybe this is the big exit right there, or maybe it's over here. Maybe there were two. You know, if you look at other rivers, And then when you go down here, yeah, I think you're either seeing it exit here or right here. So these are the ancient outlets. Now, as far as these scans go, I don't even want to talk about those. It just makes me ill why we have this here and what people think it might mean. I pay no attention to it, but I do question the one that goes right from here up and over. Wow, it's actually a lot clearer here than it is in Google Earth. There's an area over here with all these scans. Where is that? Is it right here? I think it's right here. It's not very clear here. You can see it in Google Earth. I'm not going to... Wait. A little farther north. I don't think that's it, but I'm not really sure why we have these different types of scans here. Yeah, you can see it right underneath. They're right there. These lines here, that's the scan I'm talking about. So there's like a new scan on top of it I've never seen before. And I just call those scan lines. I don't really believe they have any real topographical value at the bottom of the ocean. Okay, let's see what here. What are we looking at here? People saying what? Okay. I have a lot of new information. I'm learning a lot about the Bible. But are you guys even talking about the Bible? What's the difference between the promised land of Canaan and the Canaanites, or the promised land of I'm learning a lot. But let's just finish this up. I've been talking quite a long time now. I'm down to 6 people and I've talked for over an hour. So what haven't I talked about? I believe I went here. I did a video about this circle. I kind of think there's some type of an association with these two inlets on both sides. If there was water over here, I think that this ridge held some water. I really don't know what to say about this ridge here and how it was created. But it certainly does have another ridge over here that's just as prominent and leads directly over to this mountain. It has a name, Tomiyat. And Tomiyat is a small one, so why doesn't the big one have a name? What's the name there? They don't even have a name there. So are they both Tomiyat? Because I'll tell you what, there's 2 peaks and they both have slices through. And that slice goes all the way to the mountain and it probably goes to the other side. Why? Because people are creating these quarry lines. Look at this right here. Now if you go here and use satellites.pro, because you can't even see it on Google Earth right now because of the terrible new scans of the area, you see these lines. Okay, so this is covered by sand, but you can still see how these lines, and some of them are quite jagged, but some of them are very, very straight. These score marks, whether or not they're made with a circular saw that goes into the ground 12 feet down, I don't know about this. I can tell you when I went to Utah that it wasn't that far. But when you back out a little bit, it all disappears. But when you zoom in again, you can see it on the sand, but you can also see it here. Well, I was messing with that. Where's my pictures? Are my pictures here? They're in the download file. Okay, let me find my pictures, and we'll go over a couple of them. So, I didn't... Okay. So here's... I kind of created... I don't know why that red thing's there. These quarry lines, if you look at this line, how parallel they are, 3 of them all together. The reds are parallel. A little bit off. I'm not going to say they're perfect. I did tweak them a little bit. But then when you go in and you see you've got this diagonal, that is like almost beautiful, like it's drafting. You know, and... The Utah trip taught me that they call these things needles when they... Not now. This is just a score line, but it's, natural weathering. How does natural weathering do that? Look at the lines we've got here. I mean, you've got these diagonals. They've got all these triangles created in there. And you can go yourself. Go to satellites.pro. Well, you might have a hard time finding where I did it. I believe it's right about here. Yeah, right there. That's where I did it. And this one can't be turned. That's north. But I can visit this place. This place is in Mauritania. This place is just north of Attar. There's Atar, and there's this place. So I wouldn't mind going there, but I don't think I can do it in my next trip because I don't think I'm going to have the time. You guys are making a lot of definitive statements over there about the Bible. I personally, I want to learn more about the Bible, and I've been using this one channel I've already talked about. But this is all older than the Bible. We're talking about, look at this thing. Where is it? Right there. This is the top of the Adrar Plateau. Look at those score marks. Look at these score marks. What were they doing? Look at those score marks. You've got your straight lines and you've got your diagonals. So when we go to this, and you've got straight lines and diagonals, and that looks like it's 30 degrees. And when you look at this one, you're looking at what I think is 45 degrees. But these aren't perfectly straight lines. They're in a parallel way. But I have to be honest. You only see two directions here. You see the big ones going towards the mountain, and look at that cut right there. See, weathering is going to have an erosion effect on it over time. So if I go there, I'm not going to see any cut marks. And then on the other side, now here's another question. Did that line go through with some of the dust on top? If we cleared that dust, would we see the line going through? Because that line goes over to the Tumiyat Mountain right here. It seems to cut across the sand and disappear, this line, but then reappear over here at the edge of the mountain. You can see the cut lines on this side, here, 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 and here. If we look at the bathymetry map, we don't really see a prominent cut lines on this side, but we definitely see them on the other side. And then these cut lines, I believe they were the same story. So they started out looking like this. Whoops, not that. Looking like this. On a flat surface, you can see erosion happening. You can see that if you were standing there, you'd probably be standing on a curved hill. You're not standing on a flat surface. But this is the best I can see. That's why I want to go there. And I want to get the GPS so I can follow my GPS there, even if I have to hike a couple miles or 12. That trip, I double-checked. There's no landmines up there. All right, what else is there to talk about? You guys are sitting here arguing about the Bible. I'm trying to find out if you have any more last-minute questions about what's going on here. So these two lines, very prominent here. I walked down that. I believe that's an ancient canal made for water control, this whole area. I mean, this ridge was the highest point right there. This is one of the highest points, and it is totally separate from this other plateau. So if that's water control, so where did the water come through? Well, you've got these two creeks here. How did water get in here? Maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe I'm crazy. Or maybe this content was placed there after the cataclysm, and it re-solidified and turned into a mountaintop. Or maybe the water went up and around. But we have this clear, I mean, 100% do I believe this was a canal. I walked down, I didn't walk the whole thing, but you can actually, I mean, the trees in there are quite, there's a lot of trees. I kind of feel like this might have been an offshoot as well. So that could have been adjoining, because these flat bottoms, they're too flat, and you can't see it here. That's sand, but when you go up here, you can see a rock flat bottom, because this whole Adrar Plateau is hard, solid. Look at that. You can see the cut lines right there too. See, so these cut lines start far away from the top of the thing. You can see the cut lines here and down here and even more down here. This whole Adrar Plateau has been worked. Look at that one. That one is not even part of the river, so that's a pretty prominent one right there. I'd like to walk through that. And you can see the 45-degree angle cuts. You know, it's just insane thinking that somebody who was a hunter-gatherer did this. And was this a part of the quarry? You see these types of cuts and wonder, were they actually quarrying this material? Okay, you asked me if I could show you some of the quarries. The ones here are not very nice, but if you go up here, you can definitely see some impressive quarry work. Now that, I've never seen one that looks like that again. Do I believe that that is natural? No, I do not. 7 people are watching right now. I lost somebody and then somebody came back. Okay, thank you, professional biologist. Yeah, I want to show you one that I just found. Go to Was This Atlantis and check out some of the most recent posts. What's this? What happened here? Damn it. Oh no. I had 2 good shots and now it's not showing. Okay, so I'm going to have to replace that picture. But let's just go there and take a look. And you tell me where you think we are. Now look at that. I think that's beautiful. I think that's a beautiful example of quarry work. But where are we right now? That's the question. And no, those aren't perfectly parallel, but they're certainly deliberate. They're certainly deliberate. Let me just grab that real quick and fix my picture. I'm kind of mad, but yeah, I remember when that happened. And then we go to Was This Atlantis, and we edit that. We edit that. Where's the edit? Can I edit? Manage post. What does that mean? I want to edit. I want to put the picture in there. There's a problem. Okay, so the other thing we can do is we can just delete this. Can I, first of all, see, this is giving me stuff I don't want. I want to edit the comment. So we're just going to oh, I know what I did wrong. I got to switch over. The stupid Facebook. Now I can edit, and I can just change it real quick and put that picture in there, because that picture's bad and this picture is good. So now you're probably wondering, where are we in the world that's got a quarry field that looks like that? Okay, usually I don't wait for it to save. I'm going to put that over here, and let's take a look at that. Okay, boom. I think it worked. Yeah, look at that. That's in the United States. I found stuff like that in Utah, right? And they're trying to say this is natural, but I have a hard time believing it. Where are we? We're at the Grand Canyon. Okay, now a couple things that I like to say when I zoomed in here. The reason why I zoomed in was because usually when I see a river and then I see straight lines going perpendicular from the river, I think that's suspect. Now this is suspect right here. This is suspect, and that's suspect. What's going on here? The breasts, no, that's weird. That's weird. And then over here, I saw the perpendicular lines. They weren't exactly, but they're going the same direction, so I start zooming in. This is the Grand Canyon. Here's another peak, like 2 peaks. Were these carved? Okay, it's old. I'm not going to say it happened in the last 100,000 years. I think it's really old. But this is the Grand Canyon, and you're seeing straight lines. So the question is can I get there? Here's the Colorado River. This is at the Parashant Wash. And, of course, I just found that today. So I was like, that's why I'm back here again. Because I believe that if you have straight lines like this that are almost on a flat surface, and I'm curious, I see the contour here. I believe that if you understand the way these things are eroding, there's going to be a little valley here. And you see that a lot in the Richat structure. Here's another quarry field. They're all over. I mean, there's not just, I can find 100 of them. And in this area, these straight lines, look at this cut line. This line, it goes across this plateau, goes to here. This is gooing over it. So were they dumping some overburden dump on the top to add soil? But then the cut comes through here. But wait, it keeps going and keeps going. and goes for miles and miles. The better way to look at it is to get down at the end over here. There's a lot of quarrying here, a lot of quarrying here. Okay, and when you okay, so this is going the different direction. I was kind of wrong about that. But if you get this way, you're going to find some similar lines. Well, these lines are going in many different directions, right? They're going this way, and you've got this diagonal, and you've got this. This is a triangle right here. So you've got 3 different directions. And I think there's a little bit more. If you look at that, you can go there yourself and take a look. Okay, where are we? What was I showing you? I was showing you this. This is up near La Pied or El Bayed. And when you kind of look across this, wait a minute. Oh yeah, I know what I was doing. So let's turn it this way first and look at these lines. You can follow them for miles and miles, especially through here, and they're still going. Okay? Now, do they reach here? Not really. So somebody, maybe before the erosion event that took away this, you see these lines going all the way. I mean, how far are we talking about? Let's measure it. And you can see them here too. So it seems like somebody really went to work. You've got this little double, it's like 2 eyes, 2 white eyes, a snake head. But right below it, and by the way, again with the low resolution, these lines, they cut across the river. So these lines are older than this river. Look at this right here. The river goes right between it. Sometimes I wonder, like, look right down here. You've got what looks like, I thought it was natural when I first saw this. I know I've said this again and again. I thought this was natural. But if you go to the top and you use the line at the top of the browser, you can kind of match those over. Got to make sure it's straight. You can match those. Now, by the way, this part isn't the part I'm trying to check. It's that point, and then this point and this point. And if you put those up at the top, you kind of almost get a perfect line going all the way for miles and miles. How many miles was that? Let's measure it. Let's go to not 3D, but 2D, and measure. You can see it all the way down. I don't know if that's what you were talking about. Let's measure it real quick to just get a distance. From here out to here is 6 miles. That's not so far. I can show you a lot bigger cuts than that. So the question is how long has it been eroding? These are the beautiful ones. It's like you see that line go starting from here to here, and then across to here, and then across maybe here. And maybe something eroded on top. Maybe this stuff Gouda, maybe flood helped it. The quarry sites where you don't really have that are down here. I can show you. Let's turn it north, zoom out. And the places that I'm talking about, there's one right here. This white point points to that quarry I just showed you. It's here. But there's like little quarry yards everywhere around here. And where did they take these rocks? And by the way, did they take blocks away? Or did they leave the blocks and did they just get ore from between the blocks? Were they mining ore? Or were they actually... Were they... and by the way, I want to show you that other picture. Where is that? Okay, I'm going to 90 minutes. I'm finishing in 6 minutes. I just wanted to show you... And I'm sorry, I'm grabbing it from over here. This one picture. Where is it? Right here? Where is it? Admin. Okay, I think it's right here. Yeah. No? Yes? No? This is a picture that I grabbed that they're trying to explain this away, but that's very small. They have words for these, and they even talked about the arches that come. This is from Utah, and so the question is and by the way, I have another picture I want to show where they actually tried to show it these perfect parallel lines, and it's like, really, erosion weathering is perfect like that? Now this one doesn't show it, but it kind of shows just one, as it says here, fin. the plateau turns into a fin. Well, these lines that cut across, here's my theory, is ancient man or ancient giant or ancient UFO was the original cutter of these lines. I'm trying to find, is that, okay, all right, so this is Utah, and here's the side. Does that look like a machine marks to you? I say maybe not, because if it's a circular saw, it's not going to be straight like that. Maybe they had some other technology, but this is one of these cuts. I was trying to show you something else, and I'm not seeing it. I think maybe... let me look here. No, let me go back. There's this picture that I got. Sorry, I should probably be showing you all of these pictures, but I'm trying to show you new stuff. Anyways, sorry, I'm just looking for that picture. Obi Dum Dum some Pink Mountain modern day structures. Is it in here? It's not in there. I didn't think it would be in there, but I had to check. Mining gaps, intersections, gaps from Randall Carlson, dribble mountains, craters, circular dikes, channels, canals, admin canals. I don't think that's it. I think what we got is modern. Oh, here we go. Quarrying and mining. Let's look at this one. No, I looked at that already. Parallel croquettes. Yeah, I already checked it. So I'm not finding the picture I want to... Oh, I know how to find it. I know where it is. It's right here. I'll find it right here. This is a picture that I got from a guy in the Richat structure in a tar. And when I find it, you probably will say, oh, I saw that. But it's just a close-up of this activity. And it really blows my mind. I'm trying to find this thing, and I can't find it. Because I wasn't planning on showing it. Where is that sucker? Come on. No? I just saw it. Alright. This is that thing that I showed before. Where's that? No? Not going to work? Alright, I'm just mumbling, and I'm sorry about that. I'm going to be finished very quickly. I was just trying to find that thing. You know, I find a lot of pictures that I want to show. It's not the only place. This is the now I forget the name. Okay, never mind. I think that was ancient agriculture. I'm just looking for that one thing that he sent me. Oh, and here's another one of these mountaintop things. See, these types of things are everywhere. I used one in the thumbnail of my video. Okay, I'm just going to take a little bit. Oh, here it is. See? I knew I'd find it. This picture. Somebody sent me this. And we're calling it the Roman Road. In fact, I was ordered by one of my audience members to go see this in person. Well, what I believe is we've got basically the same type of cuts. And this is supposed to be from the Adrar. You see the sand up here. I'm not exactly sure where this was taken, but it's supposed to be on top of the Adrar, somewhere between the Richat structure and the Galawia. Well, you say it's man-made, and you know, I then why is it wider over there? You know, when you look way over here, why does it get wider? I received this picture, and I just shared it. It was taken at 1:58 a.m. on the 31st. But it's not perfect, right? But you do see straight lines. And you see, I mean, these are straight, and I have to be honest, I do want to get a closer look at that. I believe it's all very ancient because, let me just not close that if we want to look at it again. Because what I've seen in here... That's the Tibesti Mountains. What I've seen here in Yuhua, if that is not natural, because there's still the chance that it could be, and I could be crazy. But if this is not natural, then it's millions of years old. But if it is unnatural, I'm sorry, the other way around. If it is unnatural, then how old is it? 1 million years old? Why are the cut marks going along the horizontally. I mean, that's wind erosion. Maybe if there were ever cut marks, they disappeared. So, yeah, that's true. But that's Utah, and I grabbed this. It's not my picture. I grabbed it off the internet. The reason why was because, yeah, especially up there. What's going on up here? Is that a man climbing out? Looks like a tree. So a lot of stuff went on here. But there's a lot of pictures of these cracks getting close together. And I believe that it's a slow example of some type of an ancient cut that's created, and are they doing it and then waiting hundreds and thousands of years for the erosion to occur, like they're super long term, or are they actually doing some type of a work? And if they're cutting like that and walking away and letting erosion happen, then the cut itself, maybe it's a test for gold or for some other expensive material. But these cuts, I mean, there's 3 directions going on here. In fact, there's something missing, right? This area isn't the area that I showed you. These cuts are just parallel. Okay, we're getting to the end, guys. It's 91 minutes. What is StarCraft? A game? I should have eaten my dinner. I'm so hungry right now, so I'm going to go eat my dinner. You guys can comment in below. I don't believe there's anything left of this to show you. There was a few things, but this really gives you a good look. There's all sorts of crazy stuff happening down here. There's a lot of cities in here, a lot of small villages, and big populations living in this area. A lot of oases with water. I don't know about the whole finding hot water and cold water, or was it fresh water and salt water? You know, I've heard stories about wells in the middle. What's that? Hotel? Chipotle burritos. Yeah, I never was a big fan of Chipotle. First of all, it's a funny shaped burrito. I usually want a burrito that's long and I can eat. I don't want to have to hold it with 2 hands and have it go all over my face, right? But you are making me hungry talking about it. I would eat one if one was in my face right now. Yeah, that was very interesting. I'm going to check this out later. I'm putting... Oh, don't you hate it when you hit stuff with your mouse? I'm trying to put this in here so we can see it. So we can see a video game, his thumbnail has it. Alright, let's see here. I have to go back. Well, you got to meet with me, Niley. Are you going to come and meet me in December? We can camp for a week in the White Valley. You have to pay a small fee, I guess, and then there's other services provided. Alright, well, I have 7 watching now, but we are almost out of here, guys. Just wanted to let you know in advance and let the whole conversation be seen, because we all know how important talking about food is. I would love to have that burrito in my face right now, but instead I am going to have corned beef. That's what's waiting for me on the stove right now. So we're going to do the corned beef. Alright, guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I definitely have got to do this.